A massive AEW return seems to be in the works, plus WWE is not very happy with Samantha Irvin. We're going to talk about that. Plus, a WWE star is set for a mega push. We're going to talk about it and show you what the character is supposed to look like. It's all coming up right here on the Ango Show. Welcome back to the Ango Show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's kick things off with Damian Priest. Okay, this is an interesting photo. I'm going to explain to you guys why I selected it in just a moment. WrestleVotes was speaking on WrestleVotes Radio on Sportskeeda's Backstage Pass Patreon, and it was noted that WWE has some major plans for Damian Priest. WrestleVotes says, we'll start with Damian Priest as we left off with him Monday Night Raw-wise. We're told that there are talks to strengthen the Damian Priest character in regards to merchandising and appearance. WWE has discussed Priest paying homage to his Puerto Rican culture with him embracing the mask. However, there was some research, and if you recall, Priest has actually utilized this mask once before with WrestleMania 40 when he came out with Finn Balor for the Tag Team Championship match. So we are told that WWE is strongly considering making this part of his character and really turning up his babyface persona. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what the mask looks like if you needed a reminder. I find this to be an interesting topic for a variety of reasons. Well, one, Damian Priest is somebody who has definitely climbed the ranks in WWE. We cannot forget that. It would be very foolish for us to ignore, his United States Championship run under the Vince McMahon regime was actually a pretty damn good reign. But then when Vince McMahon was gone, Triple H took over. It seemed like they knew exactly what to do with Damian Priest. And it's no secret that Damian Priest was one of Triple H's guys in NXT. So it's not a shocker necessarily that Damian Priest is climbing the ranks yet again with WWE, despite not holding the World Heavyweight Championship at this time. Now, does that mean they'll give him another reign? Does that mean they'll have him go up against Gunther? We don't really know, but I do like the idea of WWE trying to capitalize off of him being a top babyface. Quite frankly, I just think it makes a lot of sense. I think him and Rhea Ripley are really big potential babyfaces for this company. But you got to get the machine has to get behind the character and the persona. So if they feel like there needs to be some sort of change, this is definitely the way to do it. I will say though, when looking at this mask, looking at this attire, I don't necessarily think babyface. So I am very curious to see how they go about that. But I do think it's a unique design. I think it's really cool. I think for Damian Priest, I can see this guy. I really hate making the comparison because they're not the same. But I think of Damian Priest as having some similarities to the American Badass Undertaker in the sense that you can make the character really cool. So I do look forward to seeing how they go about this. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see. All right, Samantha Irvin. Apparently, WWE is not happy with her. And we're going to talk about this because according to Dave Meltzer, he has reported that someone in WWE said that WWE doesn't allow talent to respond to the fans in that realm. Which is the same way that Samantha Irvin has been responding to fans since her departure. As you guys know, Samantha Irvin left the WWE. It was her decision. And WWE fans on social media have essentially turned on her completely. Meltzer says the person said that many in WWE respected her decision to leave. But after her posts on social media, they were not happy about that aspect because she was gone. They couldn't force her to take it down. One thing that I found very interesting, Samantha Irvin had a post, and basically it was some hate towards Ricochet. And she says, I am so glad I don't have a boss anymore, so I can say this. Shut the f up. And woohoo, it feels great. Obviously, WWE is not going to approve of this, right? But she's no longer a WWE talent, right? It makes a lot of sense for WWE to be upset about this, but also at the same time, too, it really doesn't. Because in my aspect of things, from my perspective, WWE... it's not like she's trashing the organization. It's not like she's bashing the WWE. Is she maybe a little bit more vulgar with the language? Yeah, but at the end of the day, she's not a WWE talent. Now, I do think this, right? There's a couple different ways I feel. I feel like how you represent yourself after exiting a job really determines a lot about you. And I think for Samantha Irvin, it is very clear that she had other aspirations and other goals outside of the WWE, which is fine, completely fine. Do I think her comments will lead to WWE not wanting to work with her? No, I think people have done so much more worse and WWE works with them. But I do think you got to be very careful in how you make these comments and how you portray yourself on social media, because it is based on, you are creating an image or a reputation for yourself. I don't actually have an issue with her comments. I don't actually have an issue with her posts. I don't think anything is wrong with them. Clearly, people in the WWE believe that there is. I don't think it's that big of a deal. What I would go as far as saying, though, is you do got to be careful with social media. You got to be careful how you portray yourself. I think a lot of times people who become disgruntled workers talk, and sometimes what they don't realize they're doing is talking themselves out of a potential situation where they need a job. And listen, guys, my perspective is this: today could be great, tomorrow's not guaranteed. So that's why you should always kind of like, cover your back with this kind of stuff. But no, I think this is kind of weird for WWE to be upset about it. She doesn't represent the WWE. She's not even really bashing the WWE. She's not even really saying anything negative about the WWE. She just had other goals and other aspirations. She didn't like what she was doing there, and that's completely fine. Some people are obviously against that, but here's the thing with social media that doesn't get talked about a lot. It's not fair for Samantha Irvin to leave WWE on good terms, by the way, and then fans all of a sudden turn on her. I do think that is very problematic, and that's probably the reason why she's even justified in making these comments. Okay, and that brings us to our final topic. Kenny Omega is set for a AEW return. This is exciting. According to Dave Meltzer, he's reported that Omega is talking about his comeback as if it is a thing rather than a possibility, so it should be relatively soon. The idea all along has been to set up a 5th match with Kazuchika Okada. This is obviously a big deal, guys. The Young Bucks just walked away from AEW. They just dropped the title belts to Private Party. A fantastic tag team match. I don't know where AEW is going with this Elite storyline plus Moxley storyline. It is a little troublesome. It is a little confusing. However, what I can say is this: Kenny Omega obviously faced significant health issues. That's the first thing we got to acknowledge. Secondly, I'm a massive Kenny Omega fan. I feel like Kenny Omega has been greatly missed on AEW television. I feel like he is a very big part of AEW television. And I really just wanted Kenny Omega to get healthy so we could see him back in the ring again. Kenny versus Okada is a big time matchup. I want to see how they build that. I think it is very important that AEW puts significant amount of effort into this build. But sometimes AEW does rush things. So I am curious to see how they position this. This is something I definitely want to see. This is something I am excited for. And I'm glad that Kenny Omega is coming back. Just the other day, we talked about Kenny Omega going to visit Tanahashi in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And obviously that's exciting too. Kenny Omega is literally one of my favorites. Will always be one of my favorites. So just for the fact that we might even see him in the ring sometime this year is just really remarkable. Diverticulitis is not a joke. So very happy for Kenny. Look forward to this. Clearly a massive return. The company needs it desperately. So I am excited to see how it all goes. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ango Show.